Whoa, it's a barking dog. Okay, it is our competition night for May the 21st, 2021. And I want to welcome everybody. We're missing a lot of people, but I think a lot of people are, some folks are running a little late and some people are off doing other things. So we don't have Jim Sykes tonight because he is off doing something with his family this weekend. So anyway, the first thing I wanted to do is to, we don't have any, does we know who Rona, has Rona been here before? Are you new? I don't recognize that name.
Yeah, Rona is my friend.
Oh, she's your friend. Well, thanks for sending her along. And
Yeah.
hopefully she enjoys the
He's
competition
from
tonight.
California, moved to Tampa. He
Oh,
wants to-
wow, terrific. Hopefully she can join us on one of our shoots somewhere. Let me go ahead and I'm going to share my screen real quick. And I'm going to show you the slideshow from, let's see, share from our Robinson Preserve trip. So it's about 2 minutes long. Takes a second for it to get together.
I'm seeing a black screen.
You're just getting a black screen.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
See it now?
Oh,
Yeah, now we do.
Okay. Let's try it again.
Okay.
I'm wondering if it's because
yeah, Zoom, and you probably can't do video. You may have to just go through the slides one at a time.
can
Yeah,
you see it now?
it's black.
No.
Okay, okay.
You
All right.
can't do video. You'll just have to go through the
There it
slides
is.
one at a time.
Yeah, hold on. Let me do something else here. Hold on a second. I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to share a different way here. Can you see it now?
We can see the
Yeah.
still photo.
I wonder,
yeah.
I wonder if a preview would work. Hold on a second. Let me try that. Because that doesn't go to the dark screen. Hold on a second. See if that works.
Yeah, it's
There we go.
working.
Yes.
Okay.
Did Jim playing the guitar?
Oh, I didn't see those. Those photos.
Are these pictures that were entered for the competition?
No,
No.
these are from
No.
Robinson Preserve.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know what I did with mine.
That's it.
There you go.
Good,
Good,
very
great.
good.
Very nice.
Very
Happy
good.
I went.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for-
Thank you for not getting one of me on the ground like a beached whale.
Wait, I've never shown that.
No.
Jim,
That's coming up, Dave.
Jim, I wonder if you can hear me.
Yes.
You can. The reason why we didn't get a shot of you as a beach whale because there was no beach.
Oh, we were halfway there.
Yeah, okay. Okay, let's continue on. Just going over quickly the assignments for the next couple of months. Obviously, today's flowing water, with flowing water being the main subject of the image. June is long exposure, and we kind of went over that at our technical night last month. July is reflection, so your primary subject should be a reflection. And August is double exposure. And remember, we went over that last month as well. You can, if you missed the meeting, the technical meeting last month, we did record that one since it was Robert and Lee and myself. So you can go ahead and check that out if you missed it or if you want to review it. Our technical nights. Technical night for this month. I'm going to share my screen again. Let me get it off. I'll get rid of Lightroom here. Oops, I don't want to get rid of it. I want to just get out of it. This month's technical night next Friday is Padma Ingubo talking about vertiramas of architectural interiors. She is, some of her stuff. These are just two examples of what she's done, and they're gorgeous. And it's a little, out of the normal photography, but it's always a good to try something different, or at least to watch somebody do something different. So you never know when you might run into something that you can use this technique with. So she's going to talk about how she shoots it and how she post-processes it. So hope to see everybody next Friday night for this one. In June, we are going to not have a technical night per se. Instead, we're going to be shooting. And we are going to be shooting in Clearwater. Basically, we're going to meet in this area right here, Clearwater Memorial Park, which is, you could park in this parking lot right here, which is at Coachman Park. Coachman Park's right here. There's this big, huge parking lot. There's some parking along the water here as well. So you could park here, and we'll meet in this general area where there's little, like a star. See this star thing here? That's basically we'll meet in this area here before we go under the bridge. What we're gonna shoot is under the bridge and around this area.
The best thing to see there's a pier that like a fishing pier and observation pier.
Yeah.
You'll be able to see that easier than the star.
Yeah, so there's this, the fishing pier and then the little star. The star is built into the sidewalk. But anyway, this is going to be our technical night for June. So we'll be meeting here at 7 p.m. And I will be putting details about this with the map and everything on the website probably next weekend, because I'm going to be gone this whole week. So I will get that posted, before next week, before in the next 2 weeks. So that will be on the 25th of June at 7 o'clock. Any questions about that? Okay. Let's see, I think I can get out of here. And now, and then in July, we will be, our technical night will be wildlife photography by Moose Peterson. And in August, we're going to be talking about capturing motion, and that will be Jim and Robert. So those are what's coming up for the next few months. What else do we need to? Oh, don't forget about our Zazzle. You have it purchased in item from our web for our logo sale place. There is a connection in our right here. If you don't haven't seen it, if you go into the website, stuff is in the way, and you go right down here, it says Tampa Bay Club Camera Club logo store. You just click on that, it'll take you right to Zazzle. Also, if you haven't already followed the website, please follow the website by clicking on this little blue tab on this page, and that will get you to automatically receive emails anytime we update the website. We try to email them to you each time, but in case we forget, you'll get it once you are following the website. If we add anything to the website, it will come to you and let you know that something's been added.
A note. When I ordered my t-shirt, just as a side note, it did take about 2 to 3 weeks to get it. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, it depends on what's going on at the time of the year. Right now they've got I don't know if you noticed, they have a 50% sale going on. So if they're hitting, there's got a sale going on, they're probably going to be selling a lot more stuff because they make these things as they're ordered. So it's not like it's something that's sitting around waiting to be done. It's or something they've got already produced. They don't make it until they get the order for it. So if they're really super busy, then it's going to take a little longer than the normal.
I got mine within a week.
Yeah.
Because I got mine because I ordered it from a place in I think it was in Miami, and I think yours comes from Chicago, and Chicago is 3 weeks behind.
Of course. Yeah, it depends on what you order too. Yeah, because they're coming from, they have different vendors that make this stuff. Anyway, all right. Somebody mentioned about, if we ever get back in the studio again, well, the board met last night, and we have decided at this point we're going to stick with the Zoom meetings for the time being, but we're going to be planning a lot more get-togethers where we're outside to shoot. So the June one is obviously the next one coming up. With the next couple of board meetings, we'll come up with some more. We probably won't do too much during the hottest part of the summer, although we could do some stuff at night. But we're working on all that. But just so you know, that's the kind of the plan for the near future, at least. And I know we've had some issues with people getting emails from us. I assume everybody here has gotten our email, or you wouldn't be here, because that's how you're getting the Zoom invitation. We're trying to make sure we've got our Zoom, our Google group up to date, and our membership list and all that good stuff. If you haven't paid your dues, you need to pay them. And that brings me to the last item before we get to our competition. Is the board has decided to establish an ad hoc committee to look into ways to raise some funds for the club. We're not destitute, guys. We're in good shape, but because of the cost of the speakers and stuff like that we've been doing, we're keeping that to a minimum, but we do need to get a little bit more income coming in. So we either need to bring in more members, we need to come up with some fundraising ideas, and there's three of us from the board are going to be involved with that, and we wanted to see if we could get a couple of non-board members to be involved with that. And that's what's going to entail. We're going to have you think about it for a couple of weeks, and then we'll have a Zoom meeting sometime 1st of June-ish and talk about it, a separate meeting from the board. So is there anybody, we'd like to get 1 or 2 non-board members that would be interested in participating in this. Is anybody interested?
I'll do it, Lynn.
Okay, Karen, thank you. Anybody else?
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Karen and Jim? Okay, that's good. That's all we need. We needed 2 more. 2 people. Okay, thank you, guys. We appreciate it.
Well, what does it pay?
However, it depends on how much money you can make for the club.
Oh, okay.
Actually, there's a secret benefit. You get paid just as much as a director gets paid.
Yeah, exactly. So
Jim, it's the
anyway,
other way around. You've just agreed to contribute $100 to the club.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
I will guarantee you that anybody that raises over $50,000, I will give you 10%.
yeah,
Oh.
there you go. It's your finder's fee.
50
Yes.
grand, I'll take the whole thing and run.
Okay, do we have any comments from Robert?
No, I'm just so pleased that people are willing to help with the fundraising. I am stoked about that because I've always been very particular about this club being solvent, and I want to make sure that we are able to go beyond just you know, the year to year. So I like that people are coming on board to help. Now I'm just happy.
Great, awesome.
You know, one of the things you can do just off the cuff, Lynn, is you know how they have the Giving Tuesday?
Yeah,
I mean, that usually just, you know, in addition to your, into the membership funds,
all right.
because are we by any chance a tax deductible thingy?
Yeah, we're a 501c or something like that. Jim, I mean, Jack, I'm not sure Jack knows what we are. I'm not sure what we are. We lost, oh, we got Jack. We
We're
have
not a
five,
We don't, the club does not pay taxes. However, you can't claim us as a taxable deduction from your income tax.
Okay, I just thought,
Yeah.
well, whatever, we can
Right.
still give a
Yeah.
donation.
What is that you're talking about? You mean just everybody giving extra money?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
like Giving Tuesday, yeah,
Oh, I didn't
Yeah,
know,
you
I didn't know what that was. Okay.
yeah, yeah,
The IRS will not allow that to be tax
No.
deductible.
yeah, yeah. So most people do that because they can deduct it. We're not a tax deduction.
Charitable. We're not a
Yeah.
charitable
Not a
organization.
charity, not a charitable organization. Okay. Anything else, Robert?
Is there anything I'm missing that you can think
No.
of that I'm missing?
No?
I do have a question about the outing in Clearwater. There's a bunch of construction going on down there. Has anybody looked at this area recently?
Well, I was
Because
down
they're
there
being-
the other day, and you were able to get to Coachman Park, but if you wanted to go over the bridge, there was quite a backup at about 6:30 in the evening. But there was no problem getting to
Okay,
Coachman
Alright.
Park.
Yeah. Yeah, because we're just going to get to Coachman. We're not going to cross the bridge. So. Any other
Photographic, but-
any other comments or questions from anyone? Any board members or anybody else? If nobody has any more comments or anything, we'll go ahead and I will start sharing Lightroom again. And we will start with the judging. Let's see, we need to get to the library. And we need to get to the assigned. All right. So we get set up here real quick. Can everybody see that?
Yeah, full screen.
Yeah, I will have it full screen in a minute. I'm just trying to get into the score sheet here. All right. Lee was going to help me with this, and then he said he couldn't come tonight. So I'm like, that helps me a lot.
Yeah, you know,
Thanks, guys.
reliable help. Reliable help. I'll
Oh,
tell you.
well, I can manage. I can do two things at once.
Yeah, but it's obvious that Lee can't.
Yeah, but I don't think so.
Was that a dig against Lee? Yes, it was.
Yeah. Okay, hold on a sec. I moved you guys over onto my other screen. All right. Oh, that's kind of small. I wonder why it's so tiny. All right. Anyway. Okay. So let's do full screen. And this one is called Amazing Fall. And I'll find I'm on that right screen. And so Diana, what you need to do is send me a private message. That was where I was having the issue here. Rid of this. To rearrange my desk to do this.
Lynn, what were the scoring? What's the?
So you
number?
can go anywhere from 6, usually we're between 6 and 8.5.
Okay.
So, but you need to do a point, like a 7.2 or a 7.5 or
Okay.
whatever, something point something.
Okay.
7.0. Okay, now I got to find the darn chat on my screen. Why is it doing this? Hold on a sec. Hold on, I gotta find my Zoom chat, my Zoom thing again. It's not showing up where I can see it. I can't see the chat. Oh, there it is up front, up top. Okay, never mind. I found it. Every time you move stuff around on the screen, it goes in a different spot. Okay, so full screen.
Makes sense.
And did you send it, Dinah? Hello, anybody there?
I did send it, Lynn.
Okay, hold on a sec. I just had to
But I
get it.
want to actually revise it now that you made it full screen. Can I do that?
Yeah, just send it, resend it again. So 6.5 is obviously good. A 6 is the lowest.
Oh, okay.
You want to go up to 8.
Okay.
So 8
Okay.
something is your highest, just so you
Okay.
know.
I just resent it.
Okay.
Shall I stay muted?
No, you're fine.
Okay.
Let's see what I'm doing here.
My husband would like me to stay muted.
Okay, that is, the score is 23. That's an award for Lewin. Next one is Waterfall Wonderland. Score is 22. That's an honorable mention for Lee Win. Next one, whoops, one too many. The next one is Tranquility in Motion. And Diana, that one's yours. So you just put, that would be a 0 for you. So you don't need to score that one. And I will tell you what it is. 7.
Yeah, you're not allowed to give yourself a 10.
Yeah, sorry.
I didn't, but it was tempting. I could have just put a 1 next to the 0.
Okay, so the score is a 22 and it's an honorable mention for Diana. This one is called, hold on a second. Meeting Point. Score is 24. That's an award for Sylvia. This one's called Above the Falls.
Somebody's got TV in the background or something.
Score is 23. That's an award for Rod. Next one is Flowing Around. Score is 23. That's an award for Lee Brand. Next one is Emma Kalola Falls. Score is 23. That's an award for Lee. Next one is Flowing Stream. Score is 22. It's an honorable mention for Jim Hagan. Next one is Fall Run. Score is 22. That's an honorable mention for Jim Hagan. Next one is Oregon Coast Flow. Just one second here. Oops. This thing is not working. Right. Hold on just one second, guys. Oops. How did we get into general? Oh, no, we're not. Okay, never mind. This one. Okay. So. Okay, the score is 23. That's an award for myself. Next one is Fountain Waving to Sun. Score is 22. It's an honorable mention for Brian. This one is called Flowing on the Sea. $22. It's an award for Fong. Next one is In the Morning Mist. Score is 24. This is an award for myself. Next one is Untitled. Score is 22. It's an honorable mention for Catherine. Next one is Clear River Whirlpool. Score is 22. It's an honorable mention for Brian. Next one is Joy. Score is 23. It's an award for Karen. Next one is the Protesters. Score is 22. It's an honorable mention for Karen. Next one is Coaster Waves. This is altered reality, a composite.
This is hard.
Do the best you're doing great. Don't worry about it. Score is 23. It's an award for Jim McWilliam.
Oh, that's cool.
It's called Where Waterfalls Really Come From, Altered Reality. Score is 24. It's an award for Jim McWilliam. And the last one is called Elicala. I think I'm saying that. Elicala Falls, Shays Run. Don't look at the name at the bottom.
That's not altered reality, correct?
No, that's correct. No, it's just a long exposure.
Okay.
The score is 23. It's an award for Caesar. Okay, now that's all the assigned. Let's get into general. All right, the first one's called Inquisitive Squirrel.
I have to judge these two.
Yep.
The score is 23. It's an award for Jim Hagan. Next one is Daisies.
Oh, let me do that one over.
Okay. Score is 23. It's an award for Rod. Next one is Osprey's Lunch. Score is 24. It's an award for Rod. This one's Solitude. And let's see here. Score is 22. It's an honorable mention for Diana. Next one is Fall in Colorado. Score is 23. That's an award for Lee Win. Next one is Father-Daughter on the Water. This kid got a lot of pictures taken lately. Yeah. Score is 23. It is an award for Joe Pembo. This one is A Colorful Bridge. Robert, you didn't score this one.
Robert, this isn't the one you worked on with me.
I need a score, Robert.
Okay, no, this was too similar to the one that I'd already seen.
But this isn't the one that I worked on with you. This was a different one.
Yeah, so I understand, but
Okay.
it's also one that was part of another one. So it was too close. So I removed myself from it.
Okay, so I guess I'll just score all of them.
Yeah.
I get to be the judge on all three respects here.
I was
So,
down.
the score is 23, and that is an award for Diana. This one is called Around and Around We Go. Score is 24. It's an award for Lee Brand. This one is Kits. I believe it's supposed to be kite surfing. Diana, you there?
Lynn, I see your mouth working, but we don't hear you.
How's that?
Much better.
Okay. Yeah, we got, for some reason, I got my internet disconnected. Okay, the score is 22 and it's an award for Fong. Oops. This was called Windsurfing at Sunset.
Diana, you sent that one to everyone.
Yeah, when we got disconnected, it flipped over to everyone. So go ahead and just put it back to there's just to me. Score is 23. It's an award for Feng. Next one is Sun Behind Ship Restaurant. Yep. You're good. Okay, who's playing in the ice? All right. Ward, excuse me, the score is 22. It's an honorable mention for Brian. It's going so well. This one is called Agony and Ecstasy. Score is 24. It's an award for Sylvia. Mother Nature's Art. Score is 24, and it's an award for myself. Next one is Wading Out to Sea, Altered Reality. Score is 23. It's an award for Catherine. This was called Painted Fence, Altered Reality. Score is 24. That's an award for Catherine. This one is Lily of the Nile. Score is 24. It's an award for Karen. Rotating Flaming Hatchet Juggler. Score is 24 and it's award for Caesar. And the last one is Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. Glad I'm not on that boat. Score is 24. It's an award for Caesar. And that's all of them. Do we want to take a quick break before we do critiques?
Sure.
How about
Sure,
5
why
minutes?
not? Sure.
How about 5 minutes?
Okay.
Okay.
We'll be back here at 5 minutes after 8. So give you 8 minutes.
Did you do your trip to Oregon yet?
Yep, got back on Monday.
Were those shots from Bandon Beach?
Yep,
I thought so.
or Bandon, in the Bandon area. Different. We went all over the place.
Yeah, yeah. They're nice. They were pretty.
Thank you.
All right, let me go find my grand dog. Did you have good weather?
No,
Oh, you're kidding.
was-
That's why you had those mist
it
shows.
was misty and foggy all the whole time, other than the first day the first afternoon we were there when we were getting, all set up in our rooms and everything. And then for 2 hours on Saturday while we were doing our critique session. So
Oh my
it
gosh.
was the only time. The rest of it, we finish the critique session, we go out to shoot, and it gets foggy again.
Oh my gosh.
Same, yeah, it was, I mean, but it made you work a little harder, but it was still a great time.
You got some good shots out of that fog though.
Yeah. Well, DeHaze works wonders.
Well, we had nothing but sunshine, which sometimes doesn't work so good because you can't get any reflections. So,
All right. Yeah.
yeah. All right.
Everybody's so quiet. Ah,
Hey, Lynn, did you upgrade your Topaz?
which one?
I don't know. I got a thing that said
Yeah, they did an update to the denoise this week.
denoise, that's what it
Yeah.
was. Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I upgraded it.
No problem with it.
Not so far. I haven't used it much. I was using it before I upgraded it, but I think I upgraded it after I finished what I was doing today. So I haven't used it since they
Yeah.
upgraded
Is
it.
this a recent development? Because I don't think I didn't see an email.
Yeah, there's
Yeah, they sent it out either yesterday or today for
Yeah.
for denoise AI.
Yeah, that's what I have.
Yep.
You know, the AI has improved its algorithm for intelligence. So it's
Oh,
supposed
here's
to be
special discount. I shouldn't get it. Expires in 2 days. So you have to pay for this upgrade, apparently?
No, you shouldn't. Not if you're current, current holder of the software. I didn't have to pay for any. I didn't have to pay for an upgrade.
Your special discount expires in 2 days.
Hey,
Right.
Robert,
Upgrade for $39. Hold
Well,
it.
if you have it, you should go on to the Topaz website. You should have an account, and that'll tell you whether you can update it or not.
Yeah, you're right. I remember. Thank you for reminding me of that.
Fong, you had a
Yeah.
question.
yeah, I got big trouble. So I got one Toshiba external password. This got not work. It's a new one. I put many picture on here. If connect the Lightroom, they said cannot find the picture, cannot save picture. So go straight look. I move to C driver can see picture, but cannot in either Lightroom or Photoshop. So before I did water picture, slowing like use 1 of 10 second did picture, cannot take out. So cannot export. I don't know, just throw this way or something. I get many pictures.
Well, you got some time tomorrow?
Huh?
You have some time tomorrow?
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yeah. I'll contact you tomorrow and then we'll go over it.
Okay.
I think about it. I don't want to bother you. As I said, I get big trouble. Big trouble. So many picture in here. So that's just now start use a new one.
Right. I just want to make sure that we don't slow down tonight by going over troubleshooting. But so I was going to see if I can contact you tomorrow on it.
Oh, okay.
So it says my denoise upgrade expired October 20th, 2020. Now they want another $39.
Well, yeah, I mean, you get free updates, but you have usually when you upgrade, you have to pay for it. And they upgraded it earlier this year or late last year.
Oh, no, it specifically says upgrades expired October 20th, 2020.
Yeah.
Renew upgrades. There's a-
Brian,
Yeah.
you have made so much money by staying home.
Don't worry about it. Just pay it.
So much money.
All right, it's 8:06. We need to get rocking and rolling on these critiques. So Robert, you ready?
Let me pull up the screen. Yes, I am.
And you have the ability to pull into mine if you want, because you're a co-host.
I can do what I can share screen and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you can share screen or you can come onto my screen if you want to.
I don't know how to do that.
Well, yeah, you've been doing it before.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, you were. You did it the last time we were on.
Well, that's only after I've made a request. Okay. So if you approve that request, then I'm able to do it. I
No,
just said
now you
one
can do it. You've been approved.
Okay, yeah. All right. I wish Luann was here. I wish she was here, because if that was the case, I'd point out this one thing over here, and I'm not sure if it enlarged enough. No, it didn't.
Hey,
So I
can I
needed to
suggest,
go.
she said she was gonna be late. Maybe we could just pass on these and see if she shows up later.
Well, I think if she was gonna come, she'd be here by now.
Okay.
Yeah, you see this over here. Let me see if I can pull it over. What we have are dust spots like crazy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I see.
Yes. Yes, we got a million dust spots over here, so I got a problem with that on such a beautiful image.
When I see them, I don't see them.
You know?
No,
See all those little spots?
I might need some new glasses.
See them? Now see them?
No,
Now you
Go
see.
to the-
Yeah, they're all over the place.
The little black dots.
You turn on visualize spots.
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, if you turn on visualize spots, you'll see them. They're all over the place, the little dots.
I see them now. I do see them now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're even over here in the water.
Yeah, I
Yep.
see them now. Okay, thank you.
So she might,
So-
you know what that might be? It might be drops of water on her lens.
Mm,
You don't think so?
No,
Okay.
see, these are sensor clean. So, and it needs to be cleaned badly. But anyway, I'd say it's such a beautiful shot. It's you know, one of those things where the attention to the detail, in the detail.
All right.
So there you go with that.
I like this one. It just seems like the color is off on it. And Diana, you can pipe in on these too if you want to. Robert?
There is a noise tool in there that you can do it with.
In Photoshop?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's under photo noise. It says reduce noise or spots,
okay.
and inside of Photoshop, and so you can take the value, put in a certain value, and then add a mask, and then just paint them out rather easily.
Are you talking about the spots in the previous one?
Yeah, I'm talking. Yeah, spots.
Okay.
So Robert, is there similar way to do that in Lightroom to remove the spots?
No, not that many.
Okay.
That's just too many. Yeah,
Good to move on to
So-
the next one?
yeah.
Yeah, this one the color is weird.
The thing about it is coming off one of those great shots and then to this shot, it's not so much, the color is off. It's a bit magenta, you pointed out.
Yeah.
That's great. But it's one of those shots where it is a shot of the view, meaning that, you stand over the railing and you shoot this shot. This is not the shot. If
Yeah,
that makes any sense.
basically the thing was flowing water. So if she had zeroed in on like one of these, like this one here,
Yes, yes.
that would have been better. So that was if you read the description, it's the flowing water needs to be the primary subject of the picture.
So we
So
got a
we got a
whole
lot of-
bunch.
That was my comment on one of the ones coming up.
yeah,
So it's just too many of them.
next.
Okay, now I think I did something with this one. This one you have too much green in there, so you need to subtract some magenta on this. And if I can share my screen,
I couldn't figure out how to take it off.
let's see, back to meeting. Let's see, share screen.
Do I have to unshare? I think I have to unshare mine. Do I have to unshare mine?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, for just a second. And then continue. Yeah, continue. And let's see.
We can't see yours if you're sharing it yet.
Yeah, let me see if I can put this one in. Open system preferences. I'm sorry about that. And it's giving me some system problems. So give me 1 second on that. No. And then Zoom, and then later, and then that, and then later, and then close that out. And then let me go down to share screen again.
What's the weird
And
spot?
now, okay, we're gonna do that one. We're gonna say share. Let me ask you, do you guys see this image right here?
Yeah.
Am I showing? Okay.
Yep.
All right. A couple of things. So let me see if I can hit the. All right. So there's the green image, and there's the corrected image. Is that a big difference?
Yeah. But
See.
so Robert, quick question, because I looked at it and I'm like, damn, I couldn't figure out how to get the green out. When you put the magenta in, can you?
Yeah.
It automatically.
In Lightroom, there's a tint and temperature slider.
Yeah, right. I know.
And
But
so I moved the tint over to the magenta.
so does that not make the water on the right side weird? Like,
What you have is you have a color cast.
yeah.
And the color cast is that's a color cast.
Horrible, yeah.
Yeah. Now you have a color correction, warm, cool, and such, but the two of them work together to give you a color correction. But even in a color correction, you can still have a color cast. So by removing the cast, you get a more neutral value, and the whites in the water, and that's another thing you can do. You can tap onto the whites of the water, and that'll neutralize it.
I forgot how to. Yeah, I forgot to do that.
Yeah, there's an eyedropper tool.
Yeah. Okay, got it.
All right. The second thing about this is that in this particular image, there's a lot that you're showing because the water itself. You guys see my cursor?
Yeah, it's not the subject.
Okay, the water itself in the foreground is your main subject.
Yeah.
Right here. So you're giving me this leading line back here that's going in the back, and I don't really need it.
Okay.
So I take it away, and then this flowing right here becomes the main subject.
Right.
Just the flowing of the water.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. Anybody else? Does that make sense to anybody else? No? You know I can't stand silence, folks.
Yes, it makes sense.
Okay. All right, I'll stop sharing right now for a second. And Lynn, we have you should have your thing back.
All right, next.
Okay.
Does that color cost come from something I shot or just the way I processed it?
It's the way you process it.
Okay.
Now, let me qualify that overall, folks. I just told a fib. Because there's a lot of green in there, it's in the shot.
Yeah.
It's in the original shot.
There is reflection, like the water up here. That's a reflection from the trees.
Trees, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
But you can neutralize that. I'm going to ask Jack, what do you see wrong with this photograph? Is Sylvia here?
No, she's not here. Jack's muted.
Jack is muted.
Jack is muted.
Oh my goodness.
That's the big
I
J.
didn't want you seeing me eating peanuts. Okay. What is wrong with this shot?
Yes.
Well, first of all, what is right with it? I like the fact that the water is flowing from up here and coming down here. I think it would be a much better shot if it was vertically oriented rather than square as it is. And I think the focal point is right in here, not up here.
You're
Listen,
saying
you can't
here.
see where you're
can't see the
pointing.
cursor.
We can't see what you're pointing, Jack.
Oh, I can see my pointer.
That's good enough.
The focal point is down at the bottom where the water meets the rock down there at the bottom, and not so much the top part where the light is at. It's where the water comes down and splashes down at the bottom. That's where the action is, and I think we're cut short on that. Plus, like I say, I think it would be better if it were more vertically oriented, because that's what this shot is. And then lastly, that big rock down in the middle down there at the bottom where the water comes down is a little distracting. I don't know if that can be fixed. I would try to clone that out of there a little bit. Those are the things that I see wrong, but I love the shot. It's got a lot of action in it, and it's very silky, very nice. The rocks look like strange looking rocks, like lava rocks. They don't look like the usual rocks that I've seen. And I don't know if you're considering that a distraction. Those are the thoughts.
I don't consider it a distraction because I don't know where it was placed. I mean, where the shot was. Let's just say hypothetically, it was shot in Hawaii.
And where?
In Hawaii.
Well, that's, yeah, well, then I would expect probably lava rock like that.
Yeah.
Right. So because we don't know, oftentimes what we do in a critique is and I heard who was it? Oh God, Don Morrow say this. Don Morrow said one time, he says, I've never seen a sky look that blue. And someone said, well, you've never been to Wyoming.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it was someone else that said that, and Don corrected him.
Yeah.
It was somebody. It was a guy that admitted he'd never been west of the Mississippi.
Yeah, that's what it was. And but because you've never seen it doesn't mean that it can't be. And oftentimes what we do in photography is that we emphasize things to force you to see it our way. So by adding a little extra clarity to those rocks, overemphasizing the clarity and the texture, you bring out the things that our eyes generally miss. And I'll say this because, not to belabor it, when we drive, and we are used to driving up and down the road, we look to get to where we're going. But when we're a passenger, all of a sudden we see things that we never saw before.
Right.
So.
Robert, to correct that rock issue in the middle, would you not be able to, if you didn't want to clone it out for whatever reason, would you not be able to just lighten it so it's not so dominant?
I don't think lightening it would be the answer because it would be out of place as a rock.
Okay.
So why is that rock lightened and everything else is darkened? So, but your
Robert,
analysis.
What did you want him to see? Is that?
Oh, I didn't want him. I just wanted an analysis from a different viewpoint. You guys get to hear me all the time.
Okay.
So sometimes I force you guys to say stuff.
Okay.
Well, did you agree with the analysis or disagree?
Oh, it wasn't an agreement or disagreement. I wanted to see how you saw it, because you brought up some things like you said the vertical in that it would have been pleasing to you, and it's fine. So each one of us look at something we all look at it differently. The only thing that I want you to know as far as judging is concerned, is that what are the flaws in the photograph? That's what I look for. I look for the flaws. Yeah, I don't look for things that I like or dislike. I look for the things that take away from the intent of the photographer.
So all photos are 28 until the flaws show up.
Yes, that's exactly
Or
the
27,
way
I'm sorry.
Yeah, the 27 until the flaws show up.
Yeah,
Show
yeah.
up. And then see, so when we talk about the flaws showing up, then Luann just showed up on the screen.
I actually like that this one is in landscape format, because very often when it's a very tall waterfall, it's in vertical format. Usually if they're landscape, it's because they're vast kinds of, a bunch of waterfalls. So I actually kind of like that this one was landscape.
And that's why I talk about the critique as far as Jack was concerned, is that there was your critique was based on how you see it, not necessarily on whether I agree or disagree.
Right.
Robert,
But I do,
you-
before you say that, I do agree that when it came to Luann's first shot, that the major problem with that shot was the spots. So that's taken away from it. Now you were given to say, Diana.
I wanted you to show me what happens when you apply clarity to those rocks, what that would do. Can you do that?
I can't do it here. The reason why is because I want to get to a different image and then I can show you, but I don't want to show you on this one because it already has clarity on it.
Yeah, it's pretty, I can add clarity to it, and it just makes it a lot worse.
Yeah, to me, if you do that, it just makes the highlights all wonky.
Well, that's because it's already there. That's one of the reasons.
Yeah, it's already been
show you.
clarified. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like those photographs we see of the men with the beards and they have weathered faces. We look at those photographs and go, gosh, how did they get that? He looks so worn. I really want to photograph old people now. And then you realize there's nothing more than a clarity slider.
Yeah. All right, next one.
I am really concerned about the left-hand side of this photograph. It's not
very
complete.
distracting.
Yep.
Yes.
Right.
What do you see with that, Lynn?
The left-hand side or the right-hand side?
The right and the left.
Yeah.
Well, to the right is this part here is very distracting to me because it's so dark, and then this almost is like it's cut off too soon.
That's correct. I can actually appreciate the branches on the right-hand side if it wasn't cut off so soon on the left-hand side, which forces me back to the right-hand side.
Right. Because your water is going down. It would have been nice. I know sometimes it's not easy on these waterfalls, but to be probably a step to the left, you'd be in the water. That's the problem. I mean, I don't know if you got it. If you shifted a little bit more to the left, maybe.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can think of. The camera, not you, but the camera to the left. You would have got a little bit more of the falls not cutting off the water at the bottom.
That's correct. And that's why it ends too soon. Whose image is this?
I think it's Caesar's.
Caesar? Oh, Caesar went.
Oh wait, hold on a second. I don't know. Hold on. Let me look.
No, it's not my image.
Is that yours? It is. Oh, this is, what's the name of it? Above the Falls. Ooh. That's Rod's. He's not here tonight. He's out of town.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. They have Zoom out of town.
Yeah. People forget about that.
Was that a dig on Rod?
I really like
You
this.
know what my problem was with this photograph? And there was one major problem.
Out of
Why is
focus.
that? Yes, why?
Yeah. This is one of Lee's. He's usually better at that, getting stuff in focus.
I'm like, why?
part of the mist?
It's probably handheld.
This can't be handheld. It's a long exposure.
Yeah,
It's 0.5 seconds.
yeah.
So
I just don't think, yeah, it looks when you're gonna have a thing going around, the water going around thing, you've got to have that rock, and the rock has got to,
yeah.
at least something in it's got to be in focus, and it doesn't look like it's in
Mhm.
focus. See, it's not in focus.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
He's been experimenting with out of focus stuff, you know.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
this is really one of his ICMs.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, no.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I don't see them.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that was bad. Nobody got
That
that
was
one.
bad.
Uh-huh. All right, this one.
Oh, way too hot. You not see
Yeah,
that?
the whites are way too, I don't know why, because even on the computer, I mean, I know it's Zoom, but on this,
Yes, thank you very much.
just a little less overexposed would be great.
And sometimes that's one of the reasons why that, as Jack pointed out, I look at what's taken away from the photograph.
So
And
I don't get it. What is overexposed about this photograph?
The whites, look,
Right.
here, I take it back. Look at, see, it's right up against the right-hand side.
They heard
Okay.
your eye.
So I'm just taking the highlights. All I did was take the highlights down.
Okay, now I see it. Okay.
It
Yeah.
adds dimension to the water.
Yeah, definition. That's the thing about it.
Yeah,
And it separates the water and the lights and the darks in there, which gives it a lot more depth.
and a lot more flow,
Yeah.
which,
Right. And that's a tough shot to get, because I've tried to shoot that thing
yeah.
many times, and there's either somebody standing like really prominent. So I mean, I liked the composition of the shot a lot, but
Yeah, he just, I don't
And
know.
he's included a person at the bottom.
Yeah.
No, but I'm telling you that I've tried, yeah.
It's not-
Well, the problem-
This is a local waterfall somewhere local?
This is North Georgia.
Lola is in Georgia.
Oh,
Well, he shoots with an Olympus, and you shoot with a Canon. You can only get this with a Sony.
He's shooting with this with a Fuji.
He's shooting with a Fuji, and you, Diana, shoot with a Canon. You can only get this with a Sony.
Sure, bud.
Sorry.
All right, moving on. So Jim Hagen, Jim, you needed to use a longer exposure.
That's true. That's very true. I didn't have a lot of time here, unfortunately. What happened, believe it or not, that water is like 55, 60 degrees, and there was a bunch of kids playing in it. And it is what it is.
Yeah.
I just liked it. After I had a free moment here, I was able to take the shot.
Jim, next time pick up a rock and throw it at the kids.
And then take it, put it on your tripod and take a long. I mean, we only need what, a second. You got those ND filters, use them.
Yeah.
Actually, I had a ND filter on this thing. I think it was a 6.
Yeah. Yeah, it's only like 1/13 of a second. You need a little longer. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, are we saying that every time we take a photo of the river, we have to do a long exposure and we can't just take?
No, you do not.
No,
You do
but
not.
this is the assignment.
Oh, okay, okay. You're saying because of the assignment.
Yeah.
Okay.
The flowing, the issue is with this one, the water is not prominent like it is in some of the others. If it was longer exposure, you would see the water more. So what happens is you're not really seeing the water, you're seeing everything around the water.
I completely agree. I had an ND10 with me, but like I said, I had a very limited amount of time.
Next time, throw a rock at the kids.
Long enough, the kids that are moving around, they won't show up in the picture anyway.
Hey, they were immune to that water.
Kids don't care about that stuff.
They are kids.
Darn kids. All right, next one. This one needs a little bit less white too.
Now, I'm going to tell you that there is a shot in here that someone had an opportunity to make and didn't make it.
Mhm.
And that means that they needed to step around and to the right. There are two falls happening in there. There are two of them. And by shooting the left, they fall on the right, the bigger fall, it just simply stepping to the right and into that, closer to that water, would have given you those lines more prominent, and it would let those two falls would have come together.
You're talking about this little bitty falls over here?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. They
Yeah,
would have come
just-
together.
You would
Just
have
by
had to stand
stepping
in the
over.
water, Jim.
Well, the answer to that question is I actually framed it this way because that water on the left-hand side isn't a waterfall, it's a pipe.
No.
And the water's coming out of this pipe. I didn't think that would add to the photo.
I get it. I understand it. So what you do is you put some tobacco in there and you just smoke on the way. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I just think your composition is a little too far to the left.
Yeah,
Okay, fair.
to the right, you mean?
Now his composition is where he is right now. He's on the left. He needs
Yeah,
to.
he's to, oh yeah, he's to the left. He needs to go right. Yeah, you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right, next one.
Lynn, this is you.
Yep.
Now I'll tell you right now, you have all the makings for a great shot, but the composition is just not there.
Yeah, it was kind of limited because I couldn't move very much.
And I get that. Now you're in a precarious place. But
Yeah.
it's just one of those things where it's like I'm slightly forcing this composition.
Okay.
And I know you feel it because the next shot that you bring up is dynamically different from this one.
Yeah.
And so I know you feel it.
Yeah, I mean, believe me, I tried all different. I've got some that are like just this piece here,
Uh-huh.
and then just some these, and I just every
Right.
one of them just didn't feel right. This one felt the best, but I'm like, yeah, you're right. It just feels kind of weird.
It's just a little off.
Yeah.
And I can't say you got all the elements, all the right elements.
Mhm.
It's just one of those things where if I could go back 15 times, I would be able to make a shot out of this.
Yeah.
But this day, it wasn't quite
Yeah.
100%.
And Jim, this was for 6 seconds with the
Yeah.
10 stop on it, I believe.
10 stop?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm. Oh, Luann just left because I gave her a comment. She didn't want to see me. I was only joking, Luann. I was not. It was we like seeing you. Okay,
You're
she said, I'm
muted,
sorry. I
Luann.
read her lips.
I'm here.
You're here.
She's frozen.
Yeah, I'll like that cold behind her. Brian,
Yes,
I believe this is you.
it is.
I got your labeling. I thought that was fun because it reminds me of what's that bird called in Hingas?
Yeah. And Hingas.
In Hingas, yeah, when they open their feathers toward the sun. I just don't think the shot is working like you would want it to. I got too many things in there that get me from the sun to the waterfall. And that building in there is one, that structure in there is one of the things that's
Yeah.
a major distraction.
If you could get into the water, Brian, and shoot up through the water.
Oh yeah, then we'd be talking.
So I
And you have
thought
a-
that by leaving the center, all that crap in the center silhouetted, that would kind of minimize it and not be such a distraction, but apparently it didn't work.
Well, Brian, you said it in your own words. You said all that crap. You didn't say all that nature. You didn't say all of those structures. You said all that crap. And if you have to work that hard, it's probably not working. So what you're seeing, and what Lynn has pointed out, is that lower in the water would give you much more of a brighter focus on your waterfall,
Yeah.
with only the sky being your backdrop.
All right.
So you
Well, I
can do that.
wanted-
You can put a sprinkler in your yard and do this.
Yeah.
Get
I mean,
lay
I
down on
was
the ground and look up at the sun.
I was looking for
Mhm.
something that met the assignment that wasn't just the typical river with water, you know, and that I saw this, and so I thought I'd give it a try, and I don't give a crap how lousy scores I get. I just want to learn.
Well, here's the thing about not giving a crap. Let me stay on this for just a second. One of the things we tend to do as photographers, especially photographers who don't make a living, we'll do something once, doesn't work, we'll move on. Photographers who make a living at it, what we do is we revisit it, recompose it, reshape it, reprocess it a number of times until it's complete. So this is one, Brian, that I'm hoping you'll take on as a project.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, you could do, like I said, you could do with a sprinkler in your yard.
I
Or
love
sit
these
it on
things.
top of something like a barrel and then shoot from the level of the barrel up into the sun, and you can do it.
I really hope you would take this on as a project.
I'll keep it in mind.
Please do.
I think this is a really pretty shot, but it doesn't really fit the assignment, because the water is not your primary subject. The three gorgeous outriggers are the subject.
Yes. I said my picture in my floppy disk broken, cannot take out. I just put this. I know not right.
Leslie, do you agree?
She's muted.
She muted herself too. She didn't want to hear my voice. Okay. I'll ask Diana, do you agree?
I'm sorry.
Do you agree that Lynn just said that it's not a subject?
That's what I,
the
yeah.
water.
I mean, I like the colors and stuff, but the water, my eye was not taken to the water. It was taken to the color, the colorful. And on my screen, and I'm not saying it is on focus, it just seems a little off focus too. But
It's sharp.
yeah, it could be my computer.
Yeah,
No,
they're,
it's sharp.
they're in sharp. Yeah, they're in focus. Yeah.
It's my eyes that are buggy. But that's my only thing. I like the composition. It's great. I want to know how much you paid them to get it all in a row.
It's gotta be at the right spot at the right time.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a great shot, Fong. It doesn't fit the category.
Yes, I understand.
Okay.
Thank you.
I
this is what I'm
felt
talking
caught. I thought it was tight on the right, and I thought that there was maybe too much foreground. I thought it would be better if it wouldn't be quite so much.
I love the colors. I love the way you brought out the colors in that water, because I know that you had to do some editing for that to bring out the magentas and the different colors. It would have been just a big blobby, blue.
Yeah, it's actually a very gray day. So
Yeah,
everything
I
was
mean,
gray.
because I've had to process those type of shots from that area. So I thought you did a fabulous job. Not just because you're the boss.
I'm not the boss.
The shot has a lot of continuity to it. Brian mentioned something about cropping off the bottom of it, and I agree that it can be done so, because the lower left-hand side is just it's coming out of nowhere. But that can also be cloned in order to keep that format. Now, on the cloud formation up top, with the lights going across the light going across around the rock, I mean, it's I hate to use this word, it's just gorgeous, just a gorgeous feeling about it. Brian mentioned something about the left side and right side. And he was saying, looking at the left side, I don't know, Brian, I'm not putting words in your mouth, but if you look at the right side, I could use a little more information on the right. So you mentioned it was cropped a little tight. I agree with you on that. Not to say that if I agree that it's right, but you point out something that it takes a keen eye to notice. And we're going to see it again, that problem of the a balance, not necessarily symmetry, but balance. So we have a slight balance problem. But the shot itself it's just such a nice feeling when you look at something like this. I want to go there, I want to see that. But when I go there, I'm not going to see that. I'm going to see a gray sky, and then I'm going to tell the people that the artist fooled me, and I want my money back.
Well, I tried cropping it.
Lynn, just take it and run with it.
Yeah, I mean,
you could crop it, yes, and get a whole. You make 15 different shots out of this.
Yeah.
That's a little too tight. It needs some room. But when we get to that room there, it's that lower left hand side.
This part.
That part right there.
Yeah.
And so we can take that water and just extend it over to that side, and that'll take care of that.
But I saw that, but I kind of wanted this part. To me, it gave it more flow.
Yes,
so there was
you're
there was
absolutely
water
right.
flowing. There was actually waves coming at me when I was standing there. I was standing in the water. But this part didn't have the water on it. So
and that's one that if I cloned it over, if I brought the water over, I just simply make it darker.
Mhm.
That's all.
Okay.
That would be the only thing. But it does not take away from the overall feel of this photograph. Just like Luann's shot. Yes, Luann, I mentioned your name again. With the spots on it, nobody recognized the spots except a person like me, a nerd like me. But it didn't take away from the overall feeling of the photograph.
Yeah.
The building is most prominent. Did I miss that? Chris, did I miss that?
This is Catherine's.
I know. I'm just asking Chris, did I miss this on this assignment that the building becomes most prominent and the water becomes secondary?
I agree.
Yeah, even the trees are overpowering
Yeah,
the
the trees
water.
overpower the water.
It's a very pretty shot, but it's just not the flowing water is not prominent enough.
You know,
Yeah, go ahead.
well, you know, I'm not very experienced, even though I have an ND filter with long exposures and waterfalls. So I hoped that this would kind of be in almost the same category. So I tried it.
Well, if you had pulled it closer to the water, Catherine,
Yeah.
and just gotten the water kind of like Karen did at hers, then you would have been better off. Because those water fountains are very colorful, so you can't do that.
Yeah.
Or wait for it to be taller, because sometimes the water gets taller.
Yeah, they go up to like 5 or 6 feet. So
You're right. Good advice. I didn't realize I could have implemented a little bit better the whole concept. And sorry about that.
It's a great shot, though.
yeah, it's a great shot. It's not passing the assignment.
Right.
Were you standing quite a ways from that water?
No, not really. No, I
You
wasn't.
got a wide angle lens on it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, she's up. Oh, there's no information on here, but yeah, it's pretty wide to get all that in there. Anything else, anybody? Moving on to the next one.
I think this shot's got a lot of distractions around this water. Help me if I'm wrong. If you see something that I'm not seeing.
Yeah, there's just too much stuff going on here on the bank. And then this, it seems to me like this could be, I don't know, the only thing that's in the rock here is in focus, and this spot right here, but everything else is just kind of this is too distracting as well. I think Brian, if you had zeroed in on a little bit closer, I mean, this right here is pretty.
Yeah.
That part right there. That's the best part of the whole picture, is that little flow right there where all the water is just nice and
I mean,
smooth.
I thought that the highlight of the photo was the whirlpool, because I took all kinds of shots up and down the Hillsborough River that last Sunday, and you know, a lot of them looked like that water at the top, and I thought this was something that made it stand out, made it a little different photograph to have that whirlpool in there. And I thought the part on the right-hand side was significant because it showed how clear the water is, and that's where part of the title came from.
Brian, sometimes one of the things that can be confusing about a photograph is that we have too many narratives in a single photograph. Back to Lee Wynn's photograph earlier. Yes, I'm picking on her. The second photograph, she has like 50 falls in there. And when you have that many, it becomes a distraction. Whereas if you keep it the narrative to, like you said, the swirl, you thought that was the part that was unique and or different, then now we're talking something. But if you give me the swirl and then you give me this clear thing over on one side, you give me the rocks on the other side, you give me all these different things, then I have nowhere to land or ground myself.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, there's just too much going on here. And this, you can actually, I've done these swirls before, and you can get them a lot. This seems to be, not sure, 15 seconds. That might be why. But you can usually get these in a lot more focus, you know? Because
All right,
you're kind of at a weird angle. You're at a weird angle here. That might be part of it.
Well, I took that. I've got other shots with
Yeah.
this in it, but I thought that having the combination of the regular flowing water in the background there and the whirlpool in the front was interesting, but I guess I overthought it.
Too many things going on. Okay.
Karen,
Yes.
you are doing this thing where you excite me in one and then you slap me in the other.
Okay.
So when I think I'm about to have a great moment, you slap me.
Okay. In one image, I can do all that.
No, in two images you can.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah. Just take a crop on the right-hand side
I
from
knew you were
this.
going to say that. Yep.
Yeah, and there you go. Because I want to get to both of those expressions a little sooner.
Okay.
So yeah, you did me good on this one.
Okay.
Now let's go to the next one.
Oh, no, maybe not.
Yeah, this one was
And then you
just,
slap me.
yeah.
I got caught up in the emotion of the protest.
Yeah. But then
Yeah.
you that, and your title takes it away from the assignment again, I think.
Okay. But I saw the sign on the right over there, Free Palestine, and
Where is that? I'm not seeing that.
on the right, the sign is going up and
Here.
down on the right side.
Oh, because
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what threw me was when you said it was a protest, I couldn't see what it was. I mean, there was to me, but I didn't see that part. I mean, I didn't see the writing on it. But I'm telling you, I'm not a good judge.
I missed it.
No.
Well, the reason why you didn't see it is because that the rest of us didn't see it either.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I saw all these white spots. I saw the person with
Right.
the mask, which that stuck out like, you know, and this little person's arm. So,
right.
but that's the issue. You're seeing that stuff rather than the water flowing. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Because they're brighter and darker than the water itself. Where even though this one is very colorful, there's enough water and it's light enough where it's more about the water than this one is definitely about.
Oh, yeah. The previous one is definitely about the water.
Yeah.
Does the title take away from the water flow?
It can. Yeah, it can.
I mean, the
Because-
title's kind of sort of distracting from the water.
Yeah, well, the title makes you think of what you're supposed to be looking at. And in this case, it's not looking at what you're supposed to be looking at, which it's the title is the problem, and so is the picture in terms of the assignment. So, at least in my opinion.
And that clarification.
Yeah. Yeah, so you have to be careful. And I can say this because I have been guilty of using the wrong title myself in the past. So I'm very conscious of titles.
Hey, you all need to appreciate I didn't do untitled tonight.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that the hardest part for me, other than, is just titling these things.
Okay, guys, it's 9 o'clock and we're still gonna get through general, so we need to move it along.
Okay, well then give me access.
Okay, I
Uh-oh.
am unsharing.
Oh, no, you don't have to unshare. You can still continue to
Okay,
share.
go ahead. You got it.
Yeah. All right. We got too much going on here, Jim. Is Jim still with us? Or did
No,
he
I
leave?
think I left.
Okay, you left. All right. So let's just make this a little more powerful in the tablet. All right. So one of the things you're giving me up top here is you're giving me all of this
Yeah.
when this is my central focus. So let's just say for just for the sake of argument, I cut it down to just to that top of this piece right here. So I want to be able to see what's happening with these people here, but I can't because you gave me all of this over here. So you're forcing me to look out that way. But when I bring it in to just beyond this building right here, just beyond, then I get a little bit of focus there. But I can't get it there fast enough if I have all of these blue things happening behind me. So I take those back and then I get to that power, the very power of that energy there. Once I get to the power of that, I tap that letter, and then what I do is I look at this. Wait a minute, let me get it down. Wait, not that. Are we seeing the full screen?
Yeah.
Okay, because it looks like it's cropped off on mine. But if I go back to F and then do it like that, and then I do letter L, what happened? L.
You keep that up, I'm going to slap you.
Okay, I don't know what happened.
L meant leave. It left.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it did leave the screen. So I don't know what just happened. It turned white.
Huh. We can see it on our end, I think.
No, we can't.
Oh, you can't? Oh, I can see it on my end. It doesn't
My
like it
picture,
when
I
you go
can't
to
see it.
black.
I have a white screen.
Yeah, it's
I
a
can't
white
see it.
screen.
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
Let me go to the next one. And
That's white too.
I get a white screen completely on all of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'd push L again and see what happens.
I did. I pushed it twice.
Oh,
Len, take over and push L on yours.
What do you want me to do?
Tap letter L.
L?
if it were me right now, I would push G just to see if I can get all the photos to view.
Can you see it now?
No.
No.
Try pushing G.
They're all white.
They're all white.
Okay. Well, I suggest that you shut down Lightroom and bring it back up.
You broke it, Robert.
Well, how do I
see
get
that
out of
there.
this screen?
Just tap letter L 2 times.
Escape will work.
Okay, I got it. Okay, so can you see it
All right.
now or is it all white?
White.
all
No,
white.
Try escape.
I didn't help.
Nope.
There's always a hammer.
Is it because are you still in there? Can you?
It won't allow you to share too. When he shares, it takes your share away. When you share, it takes his share away.
He wasn't sharing, he was actually in my screen. Can you see it now?
Nope.
Nope.
Weird. I guess I'm gonna have to stop. I'm gonna turn off Lightroom.
Yeah.
So while we're waiting, Jim, what I was curious about was what was the altered reality about that shot?
Well, when that coaster goes out, you see a single rooster tail. You know, one spray of water.
Okay.
And I took successive pictures of it, and I took the rooster tails, that's the water spray, from 3 images and put them on the rightmost image.
Can you see it now?
We
Yeah.
can see the photos now, yes.
Okay.
All right, there it is. Okay. Now you see the image when it's cropped, you don't see the top of that building. You actually see the water spray.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep,
it was just
good point.
Too much information.
TMI.
This one is great.
It really is fantastic.
Is.
I want to live in Jim's head for one day.
No, you don't. No, you do not.
I mean,
You do not want to be in there.
with this.
I was thinking you could only be alive one day in there.
Yeah,
I think I would take a little off the right on this one too, because there's way too much stuff here. What do you think, Robert?
I think that when you do your cut in,
Yeah.
Jim, you get your hand itself is not cut. The cutout is not marrying quite right.
Too much.
Yeah, I agree. You don't want to cut off that table, and you're messing with the rule of thirds too as well when you do that. Maybe you'll take a little off, but not too much.
So is that like a picture from a computer, or you actually found somebody, you took a picture of somebody?
No, I found it on the internet, just a piece of clip art. I had the shot, that's Busch Gardens.
Yeah.
And I was looking, and I've had this discussion with Robbie before. Shooting water is hard because there's no contrast, or there's not much. So I'm looking at samples. All of a sudden I saw mostly hands with glass pitchers pouring water.
Very
And on this one, I said, this looks kind of nice. I think I'll try that, see what it looks like.
Well, as soon as I saw it, I knew it was yours.
Oh,
You're
will presume that's a compliment.
That is indeed a compliment, because I look at some of
Thank
yours,
you.
I'm just smiling.
All right, let's move on.
Thank you.
Okay, see, now there's swirlies, Brian, that work.
Yeah, I see swirlies.
I keep requesting some takeover here, and I'm not getting it.
Oh, there you go. You can,
Okay.
I'm just afraid we're gonna have white screen again.
All right. Let me do this one thing. Go to the crop tool. Take out that top branch.
Yeah.
Right there?
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. That's the biggest problem I have with a lot of waterfalls is they always have trees across them. But this one actually was far enough up where you could cut it off. A lot of them you can't.
Yes.
So.
I had to take off a little bit off the left-hand side as well to
Yeah.
get into the swirlies a lot
Yeah.
faster.
I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right here?
right.
Yeah, that's
Back a
good.
little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, because
So-
the swirlies and you know we've got a lot of good flowing water here. There's just a little over. There we go.
Whose is this?
Caesar's.
Yeah, he checked out on us.
Caesar.
I didn't
He went-
skip out. I'm still here.
He went to the bathroom.
Ah, no.
Yeah, in fact, I heard him getting ice earlier.
The only thing is these whites look like they are blown out. If you can look up here.
Mhm.
So you have to be careful when you're shooting these long, and there's no information on this, so I can't tell how long this was shot for, but probably quite a while to get this good a swirl. But
It
yeah, you gotta be
was.
careful about this, the water blowing out and getting no color in it at all. So, because we can't, it's so blown out, you can't even bring it back. You can a little
Sometimes
bit,
it's unavoidable.
yeah. I mean, it's hard. I mean, it's hard. That's why, you know, you got to use that 10-stop ND folder to do this, you know?
Mhm.
Okay.
How often do you use that, Lynn, the 10 stop? I have a 6-stop. I've never tried a 10 spot.
It depends on the more stops you can stop,
The
the
slower.
longer you can let it run, longer shutter speed, the longer you can run the shutter, then you get more, you know, like the more ephemeral look in the water. You know? I mean, in some things it works with, other things it doesn't. So
Did you
I
use,
try
Diana,
both.
did you use the
Diana,
10?
Diana, if you're gonna get inside Jim's head, you're gonna need a 12-stop
Did
empty filter.
you use a 10 stop on that Bandon Beach one?
I can't remember if it was the 10 or the 4. I can't remember. It, you know, it was so dark and dreary. It could have been the 4.
Okay.
All right, let's get to the general, guys. We're getting really late here. It's after 9 o'clock.
Okay. Caesar, you're running a little too much on your
This is Jim.
vibrance there.
This is Jim.
This is Jim.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would say give him a little radial. How about that?
Yeah, you're bringing them down. Now pull out on the vibrance just a little bit on the vibrance there. Just to bring back sort of that natural color there. Now, I would have done that on just 10, and I understand why you did why you cranked up the saturation in there. But if you're going to do it, don't do it globally. Do it locally.
Yeah.
And you said this is Jim's?
Yeah, Jim.
Yeah, this
Pagan.
is
Yeah.
actually a brown squirrel.
I mean, yeah, it's just too
That's close
bright.
to what he really looks like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, that's one of the reasons why I offered a difference is that let's just go back to your thing again, what you just did.
There is no vibrance in on this though.
What you're doing right now is saturation.
Yeah,
Same
I know,
thing,
but there is no
saturation.
vibrance. So
Now it'll be saturation and vibrance. They're very close to each other.
okay.
So
No,
you
that's
pull
not-
that
this is
down. You'll see
the
that.
saturation.
Yeah, you do the saturation. You'll see that the color of the hair itself becomes, the squirrel tone, it becomes less brownish and more grayish.
Do you not decrease the highlights a little bit on that?
Well, not so much to increase the highlights. What the problem was is that everything is global as opposed to local.
So that.
So that's what I'm saying.
Realistic squirrel.
Yeah, I've been using the radial filter a lot lately. It helps a lot of this local stuff. And then don't forget, once you have it, you can actually use the brush to eliminate. If you don't want it, you know, if you want to change things, if you want to add or subtract, you can use the brush tool to get, you know, work around the circle part of it. If you
Well, I
don't want it
guess
to
the
be a circle.
The question that I have, and I understand eliminating the background because it's somewhat of a distraction, but this is really what the photo looked like. I mean, it's like taking away the fall leaves and all that stuff out of it. I realize that the squirrel is the main subject, but that's his actual real color right there. So,
well, what I did, yeah.
It's not a gray squirrel.
Yeah, it's a fox squirrel.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying at all. Even if you take sunlight goes from a warm tone to a cool. On the opposite side of shadows of sunlight is a cool value. So if you have something that's interceding between light and dark, you will have something that has a brown tone on it, that, as you mentioned, sunlight. But the tone around it on the opposite side of it won't have that same color value. So what's happened here is that when you are processing the image, it's not so much the colors in the background or what they are what they are. And it's just that there has been some increase in vibrance and or saturation at some point, or a lack of decrease to a neutral value. So if I was to take this whole thing, let's go get out of the radio tool.
Okay.
Just get out of it just a second. Now go back to your basic panel. And go to your just that you see the eyedropper, go to the part which says as shot. Oh no, don't touch that. Go to the part which says as shot. Just next to the eyedropper.
Okay.
And then do an auto. What that does, well, actually, this is a JPEG shot. Even that has corrected some of the vibrance out of it. Just a small amount. But if I was to take your eyedropper tool, like we have right here, and put it on a known value that should be grayish.
Wow.
You see what happens? So it's a matter of color correction in here. And that is even different than what you imported it as. So all I'm saying is not so much that the squirrel is not that way. Just make sure that the other parts are down so that the squirrel stands out.
Works
That's
for
all.
me. Yeah, it works for
Yeah.
me.
This is Rod's. I think the only thing it just needed a little less white. A little less blown out whites. I think it's a cool concept, and it's great that this is in focus. So he obviously started with this one, then it zoomed out.
So was this multiple shots?
It looks like it looks like it might be a multiple and a zoom.
Multiple, huh?
It's a multiple exposure. And
Oh,
he also zoomed the lens while he was shooting it. And he's not here, so we don't know for sure, but I like it.
Yeah.
This is the other one. This is the other one. Please tell me if you could see the problem with the balance.
The problem with what? The balance?
Balance.
Balance.
This needs to be lighter, I mean darker.
All right. Where I'm going with this is on the, look how much room we have over here.
Okay.
Take a look at that amount of room. And look how much room we have from here to here on the lower end. So in order for this to maintain its composition, you have to add a little bit more to the right-hand side.
Okay.
By adding a little bit more to the right-hand side, it actually brings weight to these two values. But because this wing is butted up against here and you have this much room on that side, you have an unbalanced shot. Look at the same amount of room or more, just more here and down here, but it's short right here.
So just add canvas to that?
Yeah, it's gonna add canvas to that in order to balance the shot. Again, I'm not asking for symmetry, I'm asking for balance.
Okay. That's Rod's as well.
You know, I might do just the opposite. I might take away from the right side to give the head more balance with it being in the center.
You mean from the left side?
Yeah, well.
You're talking about like this?
No, not that far, but go back over there. I would give it more like that because now you have the head in the center. Release it. Go ahead and release it now. And now you have the head in the center. That's more of a balance that I would shoot for in nature because you've got the head in the center. And the fact that the bird is turned to the side, you get a more perspective of the body. That's just my opinion.
You need to take my class soon.
I don't know. I was wondering if we did this.
What I
if you did this now when you do that, all right, take a look at the space of the wing on the right hand side. That space right there on the lower right. Now balance it out to the same amount of space on the lower left, starting with the fish being the same weight. Same weight on the fish, yes. Now, if you're gonna do that and come in tight, here's what you gotta do. You gotta come in a little tighter from the bottom
Right.
of this photograph. Now the
Yeah.
head becomes the strong point.
All right.
Yeah,
So it's balanced all the way around.
yeah.
It doesn't have to be in the center. Center is a matter of rule of thirds thought process. Rule of thirds is simply, it's not a rule, it's a guide. Balance is everything. Henry Cartier-Bresson taught us that.
Hey, that's what happens when you get that art degree. I love it. I love it. You know I do.
All right, let's move on, guys.
Now this shot has a lot of balance to it, except for the right-hand side a little bit. I wonder, now we're a little light on the pigeon there, but I wonder if this had been a swan. Seagull. I wonder if had this been a swan, would it have, we have a different thought about it.
Huh?
Well, what I'm saying is that it's a seagull, and we tend to look at seagulls like vultures.
Oh, come on.
All right, and in other words, pull the right side in just a little bit there.
Yeah, I didn't know what to do with that.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I need right there.
I was thinking,
Yeah, and see, now it runs along your third deal. And so when you have all of the values are pushing toward this bird that's looking toward the left,
yeah,
and being framed by this shape in the background.
right.
So
Because-
this photograph can have multiple compositions.
Yeah, Diana, this part down here in the corner is way too bright and it's
Yeah.
competing.
And
So
yeah. No,
you
I
bring it
agree.
up like that, it makes it a little more balanced.
Yep, and you didn't need it. It didn't add anything.
Right.
to it. Yeah. And for some reason, I couldn't get, I mean, I tried to do something with the bird, but it didn't work very well.
Well, it's because you got
There's
white against white. It's hard.
Yeah. But thanks. Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Is Luann here?
This is Lee Wins.
I don't,
Okay.
I'm here.
Check out your foreground, that dark, very dark part on the left-hand side.
Oh,
Yeah.
See if there's anything there. It might not have anything there. Yeah, there's some there.
Oh, there's something there. There's plenty there, but it doesn't have to be as dark as with all the things that I tend to describe in critique. Is that if you're gonna have black in the photograph, let it not
Okay.
be prominent.
all right, got it. Thank you.
Would you not cut the top off, Robert?
I would actually cut off more of the left-hand side.
The light behind the tree bothered me for some reason.
And I understand why it would.
Problem is you've got all this coming in here. It would be,
Yeah.
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 You wouldn't know
So
where
it
it's
has
coming
to have a
from.
source.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if this like, it's like a light beam coming through. And
Right.
if you didn't have the sun, you wouldn't know where it's coming from.
Got it. Got it. It's a beautiful shot.
Yeah. See, and here's one where the trees are so close to the water, you can't get rid of them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
All
they
right.
don't distract from it.
Mm.
It doesn't distract from me anyway.
No, it's not bad because there's so much other stuff going on.
Yeah.
For this particular shot, yeah, it's not bad. This is Joe Pembo. He's not here tonight.
Well, damn it, Joe, you finally get a good score over here, and then you don't show up.
Yeah, he needed to open up his shadows a little bit, and his highlights are a little.
That little girl is modeling for him.
Oh yeah, she was in a. He had a couple of shots of her, and some other folks had pictures of her too.
Yeah.
She was cutie.
It's a don't mess with me look.
Yeah.
I wish we could get those to her. Yeah. So Lynn and Catherine, I'm going to rely on your comments.
Uh-oh.
I mean, it looks to me like you've got it. Whoops, can't make it any bigger. Go up to 1,000, 100%. Oh, that's 100. 200%. I mean, it looks like the pylons are in focus, which is not an easy thing to do with this. But something's, I mean, something's going on there. These should, to me, it seems like these should be more straight lines if everything was, you know, not moving. And I think this bridge does move some.
Yeah, how long is that exposure? Because you should be
It
seeing,
says 0.6 seconds.
well,
I would say a little bit longer exposure so that you got streaks
Yeah.
instead of these like jumbo
Yeah.
little thingies.
yeah,
Well, Catherine, your thoughts?
I would just maybe try to balance it out a little bit and take some off the right, just a little tiny bit to bring the center more in the center, because the two columns, you know, they're the prominent. Try to bring the two columns.
Yeah, bringing $2 more in line.
More in the center, more in line, because it's skewed somewhat to the left a little bit, and it kind of throws your perspective off somewhat. I would have tried to make that more dominant by placing in the center. That's just me.
Now, this is where Caesar will say that I'm favoring your thoughts over what he just said. And the reason why Caesar would say that, he says, wait a minute, I just got through talking about putting the bird and the head in the center. And then you just kicked me down saying I need to take more classes. But then Catherine comes along and says, put it in the center. And then you go like, oh man, that's kind of cool. So what's the difference
I
here?
don't think he has enough. He doesn't have enough to really center and give enough depth to both of the sides on either side of this. He doesn't have enough to place in this.
That is not the reason why I'm calling him out. I'm calling myself out to him. I'm calling myself out because this is a man-made structure.
I'm so confused right now.
And when you have structure made by humans, that is a center. The structures are centered. They are built to be centered.
So I should crop or I shouldn't crop?
Well, it's up to you as to what you want to do. But to Catherine's point, she's saying that in order to have balance on this,
Right.
that the two columns are off center, and when you bring that right hand side in, it puts the columns more in a center point of which we're used to seeing structure, and it becomes okay at that point.
So that's where they're pretty much centered.
Yes.
So you're talking
So
about.
you have a lead in. You have a lead in from the left hand side, which leads you to a crescendo, and then it falls off.
Yeah. Got it.
So there's no right or wrong. It's just that it could work either way. And I just wanted Caesar to know why I was favoring Catherine. She's a lot prettier, but that's not the point.
I was trying to make it a little bit, there's so many shots of the bridge straight on that I was trying to be a little bit more outside the box, which isn't.
You did wonderfully well. It's not.
Yeah, I mean, but that's not a comfortable place for me. So, but I like it better cropped in. So much for my idea.
All right. Next.
See, I would have thought it was Jim's shot.
This is Lee's. He's not here.
I know, but I mean, this to me, when I saw this, I'm like, that's Jim's shot.
that's the other side of my head.
Yeah, this is a multiple exposure, probably eight shots at least.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So, and I think he did a Pat Ventosa on it because this person over here is way more prominent than they would, but if it was just a bunch of, in this part too, because this was moving as well.
Yeah.
So I think he processed this and then brought one to the forefront and made it more prominent, one's frame. So
This is above my pay grade.
But does it work? Yeah, in my opinion, it does work.
it does work because
I
you
could-
got this balances it out, I
Right.
think.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. It brings it, it humanizes it. So, which is great.
I like the way the reflections of those lights are, you know, like the lights got reflected like to the right and on the left and picked up from it.
That's because when he took the multiple exposures, well, first of all, this thing is not just going around in a circle, it's moving up and down and back and forth. So it's moving. So even if you held your camera in place, it would be movement if you took repeated, multiple exposures. But I'm sure he's moving the camera a little bit as well, as well. So yeah, if you guys get to go, when the state fair comes next year, it's a fun. We spent the evening doing this and we had a blast until the riot started, and then we got the heck out of there. Okay, next one.
Let me go. Oh, on this one right here.
Did you want to get this one?
Yeah. Let me see if I can pull this.
Yes. My
Take a look at what's
question,
about to happen. Take a look at what's about to happen. Okay. I want you to take a look at what's about to happen.
okay.
All right.
My question, this people sometimes jump on the water. They take a zoom in very clear, but cannot put this umbrella with same picture. So how I can do big people and the big umbrella, two shot or then merge?
You can, but you have a great shot right here.
Yeah.
Huh?
You just
have a
need
great
less.
shot right here.
Yeah.
You already have one. So recognize when you do have something. Where is the, oh, it's down here. Okay, great. Let me just open up the shadows just a little bit there. Just a tiny bit
Okay.
on the shadows. And then take one little brush, and because we need that water to be a little bit, to have a little something to it, so we can draw attention to it. I bet your flow is low. I bet your flow is low. Where's your flow?
Brush to.
Now, right here. Okay.
Oh.
There it is. Your flow. Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, so that's okay. I can bring this up. I can bring this up a lot more there. So what I'm doing is just lighting up that little portion down there. Okay.
Okay.
Just to give that water, a little bit of focus there. And
okay.
What you end up with is, let me get rid of that. Lynn, could you hit the pipe key, third key to the right of the letter P?
Lost.
Okay, yes. No, there's the third key. There's a little line key up and down. Yes. There you go. So you see the white caps are here taken away.
Okay.
All right, and then you see the water, and there's one other thing I would do. Only one small other thing, and that is you see the
line
right coming the line. I simply just bring a little bit of emphasis to that, just a tiny bit. Just it doesn't need to be much, just a tiny bit to show that there's a line there.
How to make a line clear? I didn't got it.
You don't have to make it clear. You're just bringing out the value, and that's just something going over it. I did a crappy job with it, but what I'm getting at is that with the before and after, it becomes, this line becomes something that points to this piece up here. up top, you have this nice, beautiful color in this space of blue. You got this nice, beautiful color of orange in the space of blue. And you have the white caps that'll ground in it.
Okay.
So you actually have something that's really good. Keep doing more of it.
Yeah.
What did the pipe do? I missed that.
It's a
The
before.
pipe key is something that's before and after.
Oh, okay.
That's all it does is before and after.
High key.
Yeah, it's the
Pipe key.
it's the last key on the right hand side opposite the P.
Right.
It's just the before and after. That's all it is. So that's what I wanted to point out, that you do have something. I just need you to recognize it.
Okay.
And your next shot recognizes it.
Yeah, this is great. You got him. You got it perfect on this one.
Oh, thank you.
Just a little bit less highlights, maybe.
Okay.
Other than that, yeah, this was great.
So you need to shoot more of this. Go down there and shoot more of it.
Yep.
Oh.
And next time, take your bikini down.
Be nice, Robert.
I'm saying, take your whatever that thing is you play. Take that down.
Accordion.
Take that down there.
All right, let's move along. It's getting late.
All right, Brian, your structure in this is very, very detailed and up close. When you have all this massive water in there that you can surround it. So what I'm getting at is that you're too close to the structure. Show all the water around it. Give it more space, more breathing room.
I have shots like that.
Yes. Well,
it was way
introduce them
too dark.
now. Yeah.
Way too dark.
Yep.
Oops. Wrong one. Needed to show a little. I like the sun coming through the windows here.
I like the color of the sky.
Yeah.
But just give me more of that surrounding, so the building is not just one prominent thing, the only thing.
Okay, I thought that I'd get dinged for too many distractions, too much information.
The water is not a distraction.
Okay. Well, there's palm trees on the left that I could have in it as well.
Would it have been fun, Robert, just for fun and giggles on a variation of that, to shoot this with with a very slow speed so that the water was, I know that's not what it is, but just to make it, I don't know.
Yeah, if you shot it with a longer shutter speed, yeah, the water would be all nice and flat.
Would be smoother.
Yeah, yeah.
I have some of those. I went back another day and took some longer shutter spots, but it's a kind of, I had a different light that day.
The lights.
I hate this Sylvia's not here. I hate that she's not here.
This is great.
I love it.
I mean, obviously the grass is a bit overwhelming, but because the bird's red and the dragonfly is a meal, you can't miss it. And I love the title.
Yeah. Can you make the grass darker? And would that highlight the bird more?
I don't want you to do it there. I want you to go all the way down to the bottom of the calibration. All the way down to the bottom.
All the way to the top. I moved it.
Yeah, okay. All right. Now take the saturation down on the greens, on just the greens. All right. Now that you've done it there, now you can go into the hue and saturation up above it. So you've taken it down to a value. Now, if you go there, you go down to light luminous, and then you can take it down even further.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I agree with that, Diane. I'm just showing you how to do it.
No, I just was wondering if it would,
It does, yeah. We just reduced the prominence of the green.
Yeah.
Here's, unless they mowed the grass, we're not going to get away from the grass. But the picture itself is great.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's just wonderful.
It's,
And
you know,
anytime you take down a value of yellow or green, and in your subject, the value is yellow or green, you come back and take a brush and paint with saturation.
Say that again, Robert?
You like when you took down the yellow and green in the grass, it took down the yellow on the
bird.
dragonfly as well.
Oh,
Yes. And so what you do is you come back with a brush
right.
and you paint with saturation that value back in there. So you,
got it.
and then it comes back in. And by the way, you can lift your flow up.
Yeah, my flows. I was
your flow is
working
low.
with low flow on a lot of things, so.
I love working with low flow. But if you do that, then it'll bring it back up.
I don't think the fly was having a good day.
No.
No, it wasn't. But that's how you counter it.
Yeah, see, with all that yellow in there, it distracts from the fly, from the dragonfly.
Right. There's something that I saw in this photograph that made this whole thing feel like it was moving. It felt like a giant whale.
I thought it was like the back of a
water.
dinosaur.
It was something that had. But what I have is, I'm not sure if you can see my cursor. I have this motion that's going this way, all right, with the rocks and such. But these pieces point out there, and then that's going this way toward its vanishing point, and then these clouds are going this way toward that point, and then the trees say, "Wait a minute, it's too much wind. I'm going to lean back, lean back, lean back." And yes, Leslie, that's the art in me. But I thought this photograph and the fact that you have these muted tones in there, it brought it to a feeling that I got from that blue photograph that you had of the rocks.
Mhm.
So yes.
I mean, this is one where DeHaze came in handy because it was the ocean was gray, the sky was gray, everything was gray.
Well, it doesn't look gray there.
No, but the DeHaze helped a lot on this one.
And so this is where I go to Jim Hagan. Sometimes if something is the way it is, and in order to bring more interest to it, then isolate certain things and make them more than what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
It
works.
brings attention to it.
Where was this anyway?
This was on the Oregon coast.
Yep.
On Friday or Thursday. Yeah, I had to work kind of hard on this one because it was very dull.
Well, I'll tell you, this is a good find for you.
I like the sky on that, Lynn.
I just wish that the sky, it would have been nice if it was a sunset, because this is on, obviously on the West Coast. It would have been cool to have a sunset there, but we never saw a single sunset.
You know what, though? I was there when I was there too, Lynn, and I had all sunny days. Every sunset I had was like yucky.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're photographers. We're never happy.
No.
All right, moving on.
Hey, Lynn, you have to admit, though, I think we get more than our fair share of bad sunsets and sunrises.
Well, it's because anytime I go to the beach, it's a crappy sunset. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, we go places and it's like, oh yeah, no. And then the next day you're maybe driving. Oh yeah, there's a great one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Catherine, I like this one, except I'd take the guy out.
You know what?
It's a composite.
You know, this is not a composite. This was an actual photo. I pulled it to an island in Greece, and this was a bronze statue that was actually in the water.
Wow.
So this is not a composite. This was the way it looked initially. So the brown on the left is a landmass, and on the blue in the background are mountains. So this was not a composite.
So you use like Topaz impressions on this or something in Photoshop?
Well, what I did was I isolated the statue and then I blurred out the background with Gaussian blur, and then I added filters on top of that to give this that look. But I think maybe he's a little too, I think now I should raise the perspective, even though I didn't touch anything. I think I should bring him up and make him larger.
How would you do that?
Well, he's on his, I had to isolate him, so he's on a separate layer.
Oh,
Isolated him
All right,
from-
now I just did one thing, one small thing.
Made a shadow, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
dark.
look at that. Oh,
Yeah.
Robert, how did you do that?
Now he doesn't look like he's a cutout.
Oh,
what did you do, Robert?
Yeah, he added a shadow.
All I did was I made Catherine love me.
yes. Robert, I already did love you from way back. Way back. From
That was my only problem with this photograph.
How did you add the shadow?
You just go to the brush tool. There's a brush tool,
Okay.
and you there it is. There's a shadow.
The shadow. Whoop.
That is great. I'm gonna,
Really cool.
Robert, I'm gonna
That'll make
enter
a big
that-
difference.
I'm entering this one in a competition this month. It's going into the F3C competition, and you just made it so much better.
That was all I needed. I just needed a shadow.
Yeah, now it doesn't look like a cutout. Yeah.
Robert, I want to tell you, I did add black, but I only added black just around his lower ankles. But what you did was even better because I didn't realize I had to add a stretched effect to it. I just added contact shadows at his ankles, but this is even better. Thank you. Thank you so
And
much.
I didn't know what was missing, but that was what it was for me too.
Exactly. Oh, I'm so thankful. Thank you. It was worth waiting up until almost 10 o'clock to find that out.
You got it.
Next.
Okay.
I like this a lot.
This was also another photo. It's just a photo. It was something that I saw while everybody else was looking up. I was looking down, and this was a discarded palette that they must have used to test their paints on. And I just fell in love with it. And in my head, I saw this while I was there, one-on-one with it. I knew I could do this.
Did you add an impressionistic thing to it?
Yes, I did. I added some filters. I also upped the saturation. I upped the vibrance. I had to really bring out the colors and cropped it in.
I like that those 4 o'clocks, the flowers in the bottom, I like that they reflect the colors too.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a great find for me. I knew right away. Everybody thought I was crazy. I was bending down when everyone else was shooting up, but then I got this and I loved it.
Wait, that's all the way to always do it.
Yes,
Look behind
I
yourself. Look where everybody else is looking.
Right. Right.
Okay, next, we're moving along quickly here because it's late.
Yeah.
Love this. This is gorgeous. You got it all in focus.
Yep.
It's F13. That makes sense. But you were far enough away from your background so that you didn't have any background, which was good.
Thank you.
What lens did you shoot that with?
It was the 100mm Canon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's my macro. Yeah.
Karen, was this at Selby or someplace else?
It was in my front yard.
Your front yard. That's well, you have time.
With
to
an
do it.
ISO of 6400. Holy banana brains.
That's the beauty of a Sony.
Yeah. Anything else, guys? This is great.
Gorgeous.
Thank you.
This one, Caesar, this one's got too much stuff going on. I would have waited until the rig was up at the sky level and shot it.
Well, I had images from that point, but the key image here was he was juggling, and at the other point, he was not.
Yeah.
So that made this makes the better image with him with all of the hatchets in the air.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is that sometimes the image isn't going to make it because it's very hard. It's almost hard to see the hatchets because of the trees in a way.
Understand? I
I'm
agree
just trying to
with you
think if that would
100%.
help. No, that doesn't help. No. Robert, what do you think?
Same thought.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
it's
agree.
the picture just is, I mean, I know what you're going here for, but it's, you know, it's a cool catch, but at the same time, there's just too much going on. I don't even know if cutting some of it off would help.
Could he have just zoomed in on the guy in the hatchets?
Well,
Yeah,
I was
you lose
considering doing that, but then people would have wondered where it was and
Yeah.
what was, you know, I mean, it would have been a circular cage, and I thought that there'd be too much missing, and that was a crop in itself.
Yeah, yeah, it's just, it's a tough one because there's so much going on, and yeah, you want to be able to explain the situation. That's what I'm saying. I know this thing goes up, and you know, I don't know, he goes around a bunch of times, but I know he's probably not juggling the whole time. That's the issue.
And well, no, he wasn't that good of a juggler. In
No.
fact, he dropped it a couple times, and so, you know,
I don't see any blood dripping down.
yeah. So
Well,
His nickname is Lefty.
Could you take the trees off behind it?
No, it would be a mess.
yeah,
Yeah,
no.
it would be a mess.
Well, I'll tell you that I think I need you to go to the Leicester School of Retouching. Because what they would do,
That's what I go
is that the Leicester School of Retouching, they would taxidermy the guy, put
Yeah,
him in place.
yeah, this one, there's so much going on in the background. There's no way you could fix that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, this one, last but not least, it's a cool action picture.
Yeah.
Are they rescuing him or busting him?
Yeah. He looks like he's sinking.
Oh, okay.
He was sinking, but the guy in the boat actually got out of the boat and was in a life raft. But this was much more of a dramatic photograph with Hillsborough, the Coast Guard, and the U.S. Air Force all on the scene together.
US Air Force.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this one's
The
US
boat
Air
in the
Force.
front is U.S. Air Force.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So what did he get to? He got too close to Big Dill?
Well, you know, it was very rough water and high winds. So he just made a mistake and took it out. And I don't think he got less than a half mile out and ran into trouble.
Caesar, where were you?
I was standing, well, this was at MacDill Air Force Base.
Uh-huh.
I was out doing birding. And when I saw the helicopter up above, I got curious, and so I drove to where the helicopter was located, and I had my 80 to 400 available, and I was able to get a appropriate crop on what was going on.
Yeah, when you get that 400, you can get pretty close from far. So you were still you weren't on a boat, you were on the land.
Yeah,
I was
that's
on the land.
yeah. But you find yourself in weird places. That's why I asked. I mean,
Caesar,
Well,
let me make a request.
the last shot was actually at the Renaissance Festival
Yeah.
last week.
Yeah, that's where I've seen this one before. This guy.
Let me make a request, Caesar. That I don't get the copyright photography thing.
Oh, that
on
was
your
a mistake.
photograph
I'm
for
sorry.
submitting.
That won't happen again. I didn't, I've never done that before, and I will strive never to do that again.
And that's what Catherine said. So, also, when I dinged her for having those colors and stuff all on her photograph.
I was sending something else out to someone, and I put that on, and I overlooked in Lightroom that it was still set.
And I know that when you send it out to those people, you got all that stuff on there. You know that they're gonna steal your work, so you got to make sure you protect yourself.
All right, guys, it's late.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
There you go. We'll see you all
Good night,
next
everyone.
Friday.
Yep.
That's
Have a
good.
good one, guys.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye. Good night.